Any idea what I am?
Late.
Oh, thank you. Look who's with us. We have Yosemite Sam, Space Jam version. We've got Hellboy, who I've never seen both happier and more pissed off at the same time.
Oh, and he's got an automatic microphone mover.
And then the Stanley Cone. The real one, and then the homage.
You yellow belly varmint.
It's our Halloween show because we're off tomorrow. So let's get going. Pregame show, Stars, Lightning, Varmints, Scary Demons, and a traffic cone. Right now on DLLS. This is the DLLS Stars Pregame Show. I can't even look at us without smiling. Alongside Hellboy and Yosemite Sam, I'm the Stanley Cone. Thank you for joining us here on this Thursday evening, the night before Halloween. By the way, you can't see him, but we have Mario.
Painter, hipster, painter, artist
Yeah,
Mario.
his hat is
Your
fashionably
boy, Mario.
askew.
Yes, it's your boy Mario.
It's your boy Mario.
It's your boy Mario. And just so you know, I got the Luds hair. It's a little long.
You
in the
are
back.
so you're not just the Stanley Cone. You are Luds
I am
as the Stanley
Luds
Cone.
as the Stanley Cone.
Even better.
And rubbing it in because he still doesn't have his shady rays. How about you?
I don't think Luds can smile
I
in that
can.
costume.
Nothing's been funny yet. I'm waiting for something.
Actually, watching Luds as Hellboy start to break down hockey is going to make me laugh.
Mm.
Well, let's hope there's some hockey to break down.
Let's hope so. All right. So, Yosemite, let's get right to this T-shirt collection. Before we get into hockey tonight, these are the two newest shirts. We are in single digits to our goal of not only us having our boss, GM Ben, buy us a free shirt for each of us, but also really taking a dent out of the generosity of Hellboy over there. So get them. We needed to sell 25 to hit our goal for GM Ben to give us a shirt. And then Lud says something about if you buy that and wear it to our takeover
You can
event.
quit reminding them. I think they all know.
Well, you're going to have to talk about it in about 10 minutes. So let's get to that. All right. Pre-game show time. The Stanley Cone needs to get to his notes, though. Let's start with the lineup tonight. Stars play actually, you know what? No. Let's not bury the lead. The big storyline tonight is Tyler Seguin plays his 1,000th career NHL game. Stars against the Lightning at, you ready for this?
Yeah, I didn't
Benchmark
even know it changed.
International Arena. That's right.
This year?
Yes. This summer, the
Brutal.
naming rights changed. It's not Amalie Arena in Tampa anymore. It's called Benchmark International Arena. Really sounds like a hockey venue. Nonetheless, Seguin will play his 1,000th career NHL game. Before we get to all the clips of Seguin and his teammates talking about it, Luds, this guy has been a superstar in this league. He's on the back nine of his career, but he still finds ways to be effective. He even is, we're going to play his interview in a second, doesn't find this is something that he ever strived for, this particular milestone. But in retrospect, he says it's pretty cool.
I don't think anybody ever does. I think the guys that come into the league, not the special ones, the McDavids and Dreisaitl's and Sagans and those kind of guys. But you're just happy playing in the league. And then next thing you know, you turn around and you're at 300 and then 500 if you're fortunate enough. But the biggest thing for me about Tyler is some of the injuries that he can overcome. And, some of them pretty serious. And he's still been able to hit this milestone. And who knows how, what he can hit after this.
Yeah, it's good. I think you have a clip of Tyler, so I'm not going to jump on him too much. But what Sean just said the other day, this is the first time I've talked with this mustache, by the way, and I am just eating the mustache hairs right now. But The Sean was talking about the other day how he's basically had to change the way he plays the game, right? He's not the high flying, cut across the middle of the rink, make these one-on-one moves that we saw him all do for so many years. He's had to switch that because of the hips and the knees and everything he's had done. Yet he's found a way to, you look at his numbers, the guy's basically been a point per game guy anytime he's healthy. And last year he was the best player on the team. Then he goes down. This year he's been one of the best players on the team, and he's had to because of the injuries. It's just really impressed me to see that he's able to do that and how much he's not only improved on his game, but off the ice matured. It's been really cool to watch.
Already a comment about you, not only taking it easy on the Michael Secret stuff, but maybe even your posture and the showing of leg. They're commenting.
You need
All right,
leg.
Let's hear from Tyler Seguin. He spoke to the Stars media prior to leaving for Tampa, which they departed yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what word to put on it. I don't know if importance is it. Maybe it's just, I guess it's kind of cool now. Just really from things that have happened over the last handful of years. Nothing I ever thought about, until things started happening. And yeah, it's cool to be there.
We've talked about it before. Can all that stuff be a good thing? I mean, it's turned you into a different player and,
Yeah.
quote unquote, maybe a better player.
Yeah, definitely a good thing. I mean, especially, the last few weeks, we're losing. I'm not necessarily putting up points on it. I'm really supposed to be putting up a ton, but, those are the times where I think in the past, I'd be getting down on myself, stuff like that. I'm just every day happy to be here. It wasn't too long ago where I wished I was a part of the team, in a slump or, in the lows. Those are just important as the highs, and being back in the playing cards, it's great.
Do you think maybe there's a little bit of pride actually in yourself for being able to get to this point in your career?
Now there is, just from different moments over the years, and I'm not looking for trying to have a sad or a sappy story, but just there was times where I wasn't fully locked in, that I thought I'd be back or have anything really left, and just to be healthy again and contribute in different ways, it's awesome.
Luds, that last part, that retrospective of there was a time not long ago where he was just desperate to be having a bad day at the rink because it's better than being, surgically repaired and lying at home and going through painful rehab, not knowing if he'd ever play hockey again.
Yeah, you don't know what you got till it's gone, right? And I think he's stepped fairly close to that door at times. And, now being back, his only goal right now is to win another Stanley Cup, and I think that's probably a goal of a lot of the guys on the team, is to win one for him and one for the captain who doesn't have one. I mean, I had said before, I was in those shoes, so to speak, and I think Tyler has just passed it now, but the time in between my first one and the second one was 13 years. And you get to a point where you don't think you're going to have that opportunity again. And Tyler's probably had a couple other different reasons why he wouldn't have that opportunity again. Being with a good team and being on the right team, but then again, the injuries that are going to allow it. Hopefully that happens.
Well, let's hear from a couple of his teammates. First, Colin Blackwell on Seguin hitting 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, 1,000 games, that's an incredible accomplishment. And, he gave a good speech this morning about kind of perspective of the game, of the highs and the lows. And everybody looks at, sports, especially hockey in general, the highs, whether it's team or personal accolades. But then you have the lows of maybe the injuries, the training, the rehab, kind of grind over the summer, an 82-game season. So for him to be able to, not only play 1,000 games, but play at such a high level for such a long time, it's really impressive, and happy to be a small part of that tonight. And and I think for him, just last year of getting hurt and then grinding and coming back for the team, I think it puts a lot of things, everything comes full circle, and good things happen to good people. So it's exciting to have him get that milestone tonight and kind of be a part of the team with him.
Now, he's only been teammates with Colin Blackwell for a little over a year, but how about Radek Faksa, who's been around the Stars his almost, other than last year, Faksa's entire career, and Seguin has been in Dallas basically since Radek was called up from the minors when he was a young pro.
It feels like Seguin was in the league forever, It's like, I'm surprised he got just 1,000 games. It feels like he got even more, but obviously it's a long run, I'm in the league for 11 years, and I'm not even close, So I know how hard is it to get to 1,000 games. You know, it's lots of work. You know, lots of sacrifices on the road, and you know, Tyler is with this franchise for so long, and he's the key player for the franchise for sure. So yeah, well deserved and happy for him, and yeah, he's an amazing teammate.
So there was a comment that Radek made there that I wanted to point out. Is I'm surprised for how long he's been there. He hadn't gotten there sooner. That was actually something that Tyler said to me. I asked him a couple weeks ago because I've sort of been, we've been tracking his number, and the first thing I said, well, what does it mean to 1,000? He goes, honestly, that I can't believe it took this long because of some of those substantial injuries that he missed.
You know, the other thing I was thinking of as Radek was talking there, the pressure that he's been under for a lot of those 1,000 games, because he's been that guy. You know what I mean? Obviously, when he came into the league, high pick and everything else, the expectations of night after night. I mean, for some of us that were able to reach that, you're not counted on as much as those guys are that win. And bottom line is they win and lose your hockey game, more win than anything else. And so I think it's probably even more special for those guys that have to be under that pressure for 1,000 games up to this point, being expected to do certain things to affect an outcome of a hockey.
I don't know when the tradition started, but the league presents a silver stick.
Yeah, right after I got mine. I didn't get mine.
That was
the next year.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
So they did. That was right after that, huh?
Apparently.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sam, we need to go buy some aluminum.
That would have been
we'll get you.
That would have been in a dumpster someplace too.
Someone would have bought it. Yeah, I'm curious, Luds, because someone was just asking to confirm if you did play. I know it was 1250 something. I think was your final. What did it mean to you at the moment? And if nothing, because you were kind of in the moment, what does it mean looking back on it now? Because it is a big deal.
In all honesty, I didn't even know it was there. I didn't even realize it until it was high end of the 900. I never, but I don't, at the time, it didn't seem like, now you're talking about the sticks and all that. Now it seems like they've acknowledged the accomplishment.
Yes.
Where
that it was it's more of a big deal.
Yeah. And the funny thing is there's more teams and there's more opportunities, to play on teams and get games and all that other kind of stuff. It just, I don't think it wasn't something that was talked about much. And I mean, it just kind of went unnoticed. Oh yeah, he played his 1,000 game. There was no acknowledgement of him. And I'm sure that there was probably a writing or something like that in the next day in the paper. That was about it.
Well, the interesting thing is that Tyler has been in Dallas a long time, not in his entire career. Obviously, he started in Boston. But when you look at the all-time list, he's in the upper echelon for stars and scoring, in fact. So we were looking up the other day. Tyler is fifth in the franchise point totals, 693 points, 796 games. So he's almost at 800 Dallas Stars games. That's remarkable.
Yeah.
And that doesn't count any, of course, the playoff stuff. So really exciting things. We're going to keep an eye on Tyler tonight. We'll also talk about Nikita Kucherov because he is getting celebrated tonight about a recent 1,000 point milestone he did 5 days ago, but they're acknowledging it pregame tonight. But let's talk about this lineup. No changes. So here's the lineup we saw the other night. 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. But Kyle Capobianco didn't even play 4 minutes the other night. And it seemed like, based on the way the game went, and maybe he was dressed as a defenseman because, they didn't have any forwards, but because they were worried Harley didn't take the morning skate. Maybe that had more to do with him signing a contract. Who knows? But he wasn't really much of a factor as the 7th defenseman, and you understand why, because it's really hard for a defensive coach to roll and keep him in.
Well, I think the game had something to do with it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 1-goal game all the way, to the end. So I do remember one shift that he had when you're speaking about that. I didn't know what his minutes were, but I remember one shift through the neutral zone. And again, sometimes it's not fair to a guy like especially a guy that's trying to, get into a lineup and stay in a lineup. It's not fair to play 1 or 2 shifts in a period and then have it be a 0-0 game, a 1-0 game, and where the team is and it wants to get on a bit of a roll, and you don't want to be part of that, and so you're kind of squeezing your stick at times, and then you're shortening your shifts because you don't want to be out there to make a mistake. So, I think maybe he gets a more of a chance tonight because, and I had said, I mean, I don't know if there was ever a time when both teams that are playing each other went 11-7. So that'll be something. But maybe with this game tonight, maybe it's a little more wide open. maybe there's a little bit more flow in it that he gets a few shifts.
All right, I want to hear, I know we have to get to an ad break, but I want to hear Gully, who talked about the issue, the challenge of playing with 7 defensemen, 11 forwards in the pregame interview today.
The biggest challenge is making sure your 7th defenseman stays somewhat engaged, right? You don't want to put him out there cold, and I thought Capo did a really good job. It's good with him too, as he's such a great skater, so it's a little easier adjustment for him. But that's the challenge. The challenge is really on the D coach to get your guy enough minutes that he's engaged.
And as Les just talked about, it's not that easy. And your use of the word, it's unfair. It's unfair to the team to put a cold guy out and expect him to perform. It's unfair to the player to expect him to sit for 7 or 8 minutes and not be into the flow. Defensemen especially, but I think all hockey players really thrive on getting rhythm, regular shifts, and playing every second or third shift, depending on how many lines you have or how many deep pairs.
Well, and you know, I think you can find some spots to get him in. When there's faceoffs in a neutral zone, offensive zone, you know, don't start him in the D zone. Not that he can't handle it, but you're just that closer to be going, having the coaches or himself going, oh man, I get out here for shift and they score on me. That's the last thing you want as a guy that's trying to find a spot in the lineup. So, and I'm sure that the coaches are all cognizant of everything that's going on. They don't want to put him in a poor spot. So hopefully he gets a couple shifts in early, has a couple good shifts, and you know they can kind of build from there.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk about Kucherov. We'll hear from John Cooper. A couple more from Gully. Stars made a trade. All sorts of stuff as we get ready for Stars Lightning tonight in Tampa on the DLLS Stars Pregame Show.
Sam, I don't know if you've heard, but you know we got a couple of shirts, a couple new shirts. Did you know about it?
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, we got a couple of those from the face-off collection.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Well, here they are. I mean, here's the two of them. It's the Dallas hockey shirt, the green one, and then we've got the black one. That is a Dallas Stars hockey shirt also with, I think, the 3 stars mean a star. But the biggest point of all this stuff is, obviously, we've heard about it, and they've kind of created a bit of a snowstorm or blizzard going on here, that if we sell another 9, 10...
Down to 9, I believe,
down
as
to
of
9.
this morning.
9 more of those shirts, and if those people that are coming to the event on December 9th, that's what I said.
Very close.
December 17th.
7th.
The little event at Hooters, apparently, Luds is buying the beers for all the folks that wear those shirts. And that's about it. The good news is we get a free shirt.
Yeah.
If you guys spend your money
Yeah.
and buy your shirts. But I'm trying to pay it back in beer. So I'm trying to even it out for everybody.
He is nothing if not a man for the people.
Yeah, smart Luds. You can also sign up for the Supporters Club if you want to find the another way to support us. If you missed it, we had a pretty amazing Supporters Club behind the scenes video the other day when we had a rare event of the Mavs, Cowboys, and Stars show in studio for games at the same time. So we do those every month, I believe. So plenty of fun behind the scenes videos, but you also get the exclusive badges that make your chat pop out. You can see them in the chat right now. You can also see Ardell, can't even read through this mask, Yoshi6 with the Luds emoji, the beer emoji. There's tons of awesome custom emojis that you get as part of Supporters Club. So we can see your chat above the rest and we can answer some of your questions. Join the Supporters Club now at alldls.com.
And there's a new emoji, a tank.
New one? Oh.
A tank, a literal tank.
Oh, I like
Well,
that. Supposed to be Stankoven?
What's that? What's the emoji mean?
That's a good question. Is it
like an army tank?
Is it because the Cowboys suck and they're going to tank for a draft pick?
Really?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Oh.
All right. Well, hey, while we're on the topic, I have to do something.
Do it.
Because I'll take my hat off for just a minute. I'll put it on the Stanley coat. Because it's time for the PNC Bank Mullet Report. Here's our pick for our favorite hockey hair from around the NHL. Tonight, maybe the best ever. Maybe it's Jaromir Jagr. There he is. Now, that's young Jagr, but that mullet is unbelievable.
That's historic.
Right?
Yes.
Is that the best ever in
Best
hockey?
ever. Yep. Best ever, I would
Has
say.
to be, yeah.
And Luds, a lot of people nowadays might not remember Jagr of the early to mid 80s or mid 90s, excuse me, when he was this age. And so they see him slower, but kind of like Rantanen, incredible at puck protection, hard to get around him. But
Well,
he was
most players saw that mullet only from the back.
I was going to say, he was
he's
a
already
speedster,
danced around
right?
you and he's getting ready to score a goal. Goaltenders only saw it from the front. He never gets out of the back.
How fast was Jagr to play against on the ice?
It wasn't about speed. It was about deception. You know, and he's big. He's a big boy. And once he dropped the pipe, he'd get that arm down there, and he could hold you off. And very, very similar to Mario. But I mean, when those two were together, I mean, magic when those guys can do that and get together. But yeah, he was just loaded with talent, and he's still playing.
I was about to say, isn't he still playing?
He's still playing on his own team. Yeah, he's got his own team.
When you own the team, you can put yourself in the lineup.
He's also producing, though. You play until you die.
Pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hats pregame at PNC Plaza. Compliments of PNC Bank. November 4th and 6th at PNC's pop-up Main Street branch. And come hang out with us on the 6th because we'll actually be there. No purchase necessary. One per person while supplies last. Copyright 2025. The PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated. PNC Bank, an official partner of the Dallas Stars. All right, let's talk. Put my hat back on. I am the Stanley Cone. See if it stays on onto this.
Put the actual one on.
Put the actual one on. A little heavier. But Luds did that, so maybe we do. Let's talk very, very quickly, because we're running out of time here, about this trade this morning, Sam. Because the Stars made a trade. It's an AHL trade, so I don't think they'll have a major impact. It's certainly not immediately, but maybe down the road. The Stars traded former second-round pick defenseman Christian Kyrou to the Philadelphia Flyers, and they received a Finnish forward, Samu Tuomala, who is immediately assigned to the Texas Stars. Do we know much about this young Finnish forward?
Is the Kyrou related to Jordan Kyrou?
Younger brother.
Younger
brother.
Yep. Didn't know that.
Yep. The only thing I know is that he, similar to other Finnish players, is a very smart player. He's got some speed. I believe he's a right-handed forward. That's about it. The main takeaway from this trade is both players needed a fresh start, right? The Kyrou his size made it really hard for him in general, but he also never really got to where Texas thought he would be, or thought he would get to. So that's the same kind of thing with the other guy. So you get another Finn, you give Kyrou a new start somewhere else. And the biggest thing, I think Robert wrote a little bit this morning, or tweeted or something, it gives Texas a little jolt, and they've needed a little jolt. Have they even won a game?
I believe to this point they have not won a game.
They have not won a game. New coach Toby Peterson looking for any jolt.
I think it's more about the roster.
It's
than
just
the
they don't
coaching
have
staff.
anybody,
Yeah.
right? So it's tough for a new coaching staff to come in there and have that situation. So it's not necessarily like it's a better player or anything like that, but it gives them something new. It shakes things up a little bit, and I think both guys could use a fresh start.
One thing to keep an eye on for Tuomala, who's 22 years old. He's not big. He's listed at 5'10". He's a second-round pick from the Flyers. Kyrou's a second-round pick. But he's played just over 100 AHL games, and he has 75 points. So it's not exactly point per game, but there's something there. So we'll see. And if it doesn't turn into anything, it didn't look like Christian Kyrou was going to crack the NHL depth. There are some other guys surpassing him. And, then they get Trey Taylor as a college free agent, and he looks like he might be something potentially. And, Lud, sometimes when a player that's a prospect isn't taking that next step, sometimes you just have to let him go somewhere else and try, like Sam said,
cut bait.
Little new scenery.
Time to cut bait.
Yep. All right, let's talk about.
We also got a super chat.
Oh, we do? Well, let's
Bing
do one
bong.
before we lose time on it. If I can read it through my mullet. Oh, Burned Oils with a Canadian Darian Hatcher and Year After the Cup. Great costumes. Come to my door for big candles. Candies.
Ooh,
I was
big
gonna say-
candles as well.
Big candles
would be nice. What do you have, Burned Oils? What kind of bars are we
Well,
talking?
if
Butterfingers.
if it's Canadian,
talking 100 grand.
Are we talking Canadian candy?
Talking coffee crisps, cheesies. That's all I know from Canadian
Not bad.
candy.
Yep. Okay. Luds, I want to play a little bit of Gully and then of John Cooper because they're always fascinated to hear. So here's Gully on what the challenge is with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, I just see them playing the last 4 games, how well they've played. Obviously, a very seasoned team, very instinctual in their play, very rehearsed in some of the other aspects of their play, their breakouts, their 1-1-3 that they're known for. Very highly evolved team, so we're going to have to be good tonight.
They had a dreadful start to the season, but they've won 3 games in a row. And with a group which it's not the Stanley Cup group anymore, but there's still a lot of pieces left over.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it was a similar start to Dallas. I mean, it's just kind of sluggish, and they seem to be rolling down. And I think their top guy in Kucherov has got his game going along now. And so And I think they're at the point where they're getting their game rounded into shape. And Coop is more dialed into, you'd think with some of the superstars, it's about scoring goals. It's not. It's about playing well and in their own zone. That's where it starts there. And their goaltender's playing better now too.
One of the things Gully talked about was in the pregame interview is this about something he wants to see improve, because he was asked about, hey, defense looks like it's coming along. He said, yes, but
I am seeing us better defensively in areas, but we're defending too much. So that's the one thing that we would like to get is, it's not easy 11-7, but we need to push back a little bit more, have a little ozone time. I've really liked our defensemen in front of the net, the way they've cleared things, but again, we're there a little too much. We've got to cut that back.
That was interesting at the end. He likes the defenseman in front of the net. That's been something, Luds, that over the last year you haven't always been very happy with.
No, because they've been chasing people out by the offensive blue line. So no, and I think they're getting there, but he would like to see the transition game. And again, when you get into learning a new system and you don't know it yet, there's not a lot. There's probably too much of standing around and thinking about, is this where I'm supposed to be? So now he wants that transition. Once we make the play, we make contact, then we get our feet going north. The other thing would be is he doesn't want to be a one and done kind of team down at the other end of the rink. He wants to be able to create some offense, but let's not just get a shot on net. Let's try to recover the puck, get it back. And that's where I think he mentioned a couple of games ago, he'd like to see a little bit more from the defenseman as far as offense. And I don't think that means Thomas Harley, but that means the rest of them directing some more pucks than that.
Don't let those guns go off, Sam. Let's hear from John Cooper, because the pregame ceremony tonight in Tampa is about Nikita Kucherov's 1,000th career NHL point. He did it 5 days ago. He's now up to 1,004. He's one of my favorite current players in the NHL to watch. I think he's appointment television. But here's Coop talking about Kucherov.
Seriously, I'm getting old because I saw 0.1 and now he's at 1,000. Although I'm probably not that old because he's done it faster than most. So it didn't take him as long as it's taken a lot of other guys to do it. But it's quite an accomplishment. And like you get to, I remember Stammers. They're just cool to be a part of. You're not only what it means to the organization, but what it means to Cooch and his family and what he's accomplished in best league in the world. It's quite a feat.
He's been really good for him. I can still remember
Why?
a game 3-4 years ago. I just happened to be watching the game, and Cooch didn't touch the ice in the third period. And I remember texting Coop at the end of the game, and I just said, trying to send him a message, and he goes, yep. And ever since then, because he was just playing that offensive game that he does, which he's so damn good at, and he wasn't giving the effort at both ends of the rink. And you could see it. And I watch games and I see, man, is he good? But there are times when he's kind of lazy, kind of similar when he was in the All-Star game a year or two ago, whatever that was.
He wasn't even trying.
He hated that.
So, because he is, that good offensively. But I think ever since that day, he's really been a player that now has an effort as an offensive-minded guy. And again, 1,000 points is incredible, and talk about all that. But now he cares about his own end and got a couple Stanley Cups to show for it. I'm
hoping you didn't watch Cooper's availability from today yet. Have you?
Are we going to talk about Gergensen and those guys?
No.
Nope, then I have not seen it.
Okay, great, because this is just for you and for everybody watching. But here's John Cooper showing his interesting, hilarious side.
I don't know. Honestly, there's 31 tests in this league. I don't know. It's funny that guys say this is going to be a really good test. There's no difference between Dallas to Colorado to Utah to Nashville to Rangers, Vancouver. They're all a test. It's when you play them, and everybody's a unique. But this is the best league in the world, man. I can't wait for somebody to walk in and say, "Hey, you're playing this team. It's not a test. You're gonna wax them. Come on." Is Darren Pang here? Did I just see Darren Pang? I swear to God, it's the only guy that I have to look between somebody's legs to see him.
Hi, Coop.
Hi.
And in case you didn't know, that was Darren Pang at the end going, "Hi, Coop."
John Cooper is living his best life. Couple Stanley Cup rings, been coaching that team for, I don't even know what it is now, 11, 12 years. got a new contract, still has guys that have an opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. And in Tampa Bay, and things are good for Coop. And he can be jolly. Now, if he doesn't win the hockey game tonight, that post-game interview will not be like that.
No.
So he can be just like all the other coaches, but he's a damn good coach, and I think the players respect him.
All right, let's show the lineup real quick for the Lightning as they get ready to host the Stars tonight. Obviously, that top line, Gensel, Point, and Kucherov, really dangerous. Keep an eye on Curtis Douglas, former Dallas Stars draft pick from 2018 when Dallas hosted the draft. He's 6'8", 6'9". He's huge. He's not there for his offense, but he's on a line with Brandon Hagel and Anthony Cirelli.
For me,
I think he's going to be sitting in the press box tonight, what I hear.
You think?
Yeah, I think they're going 11-7.
Oh, really? They're thinking about scratching him?
Yeah, I think Douglas is out tonight.
I love it.
But if not, he's big enough you can spot him up there.
He'll be able to see from there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I just was looking at the lines from the warm-up. It looks like they're Hagel and Cirelli. So maybe you'll see Kucherov double shift a little bit more. Maybe you'll see, they've got Darren Radishin as the extra.
Battle of the 11-7s tonight.
And then there's the defense. Radish will be the 7. But obviously, Victor Hedman is one of the best defensemen all around in the league. He's not fast but he's not slow either. He's not fast like Makar or Heiskanen. But boy, is he an absolute mountain of a man.
Yeah, and they talk a lot about this Diastus, I think his name is. He's been best defenseman in 4 different leagues. And then he had a hard time making it in the American League. So,
go figure.
But there's a lot of talk about him, and I like their second pair, Chernak and McDonough, obviously. I mean, they're shot-blocking machines, and they are out there to shut down the opponent. So I'm guessing that Ren and Macy get a heavy dose of them, along with Hedman. So we'll see how Coop wants that to work.
Then the goalie matchup, it's going to be Oettinger against one of his idols, Andrei Vasilevskiy. Vasilevsky's been an absolute horse against the Stars in his career. Great numbers. This year, obviously, the poor start to the season. Luds, I don't know how much of the Tampa Bay Lightning you've watched so far. They were 1-4-2 in their first 7 games. That's not good. How was Vasilevskiy playing?
He was not good in the beginning, and now he's playing much, much better. So there was one game, I believe, against the Dallas Stars that Dallas put up 8 goals. Other than that, he has been tough to beat.
And his career numbers against the Stars, 22 games,
crazy.
15-4-3, a 2.01 goals against, 9.27 save percentage, 6 shutouts.
I didn't like him last year. Watching game, I didn't think it felt like he was disinterested in game. And so, anyway, I got a feeling that a lot of their good players kind of went through that little couple bumps in the road and the whole guys down the highway playing them and not, you know what I mean? I think they've had enough.
And last little bit of news, not pertaining to this game directly, but Marty Necas signed an 8-year extension with the Avalanche, $11.5 million AAV, $92 million total. And Mikko Rantanen
signed for around that $12 million mark.
$12 million AAV, $500K difference for
6-7 months
that
later.
Drama.
Yep.
What do you think?
He fits in well there.
Yeah, he's a very good player, and the good thing for them is that he turned out to be what they thought he would be.
Yep,
because
exactly.
if he was just average, even a decent good scorer, this doesn't look good. But the fact that he is potentially their second best player or second best forward right now is huge.
Well, the costumes stay. Luds of clearly that's a way too professional of a job
until tomorrow
for a half an hour pregame show. We'll be in costume for the postgame show. So after Stars and Lightning National Game, it's on TNT, HBO Max. Come hang out with us for the postgame, and we'll talk to you then. You're on DLLS.
I believe that they are going to crush these guys tonight.
We all silly like the mayor.